What's up, douchebags? Welcome to Rad Reviews, the show on Darkbad TV where I give you an awesome review of an awesome game. My name is Rad, and today I'm gonna talk about the next big sandbox game, Just Cause 3. And also, at the end of this episode, I'm going to make an important announcement. So stay tuned. Are you ready? Let's do this. The story. Just Cause 3's story is yet another struggle to stop a dictator. Rico Rodriguez returns to his homeland of Medici, that's under the control of the dictator Sebastiano di Ravello, who has set his eyes on world domination. He travels to Medici by plane, while some American guy briefs him over the situation in the country. Armed with quite an arsenal, Rico jumps up on the plane and starts shooting the sands with his rocket launcher. However, the plane gets shot down, but at least Rico managed to land safely. At arrival, he meets his childhood friend, Mario Frigo, who is helping out with the revolution, and also Dima Al-Masri, who is a scientist. The characters are pretty wacky in general, but it's mostly just some half-dry jokes here and there. Anyhow, this is basically where you start your quest to liberate Medici, one place at a time. The gameplay. The story in Just Cause 3 isn't that interesting or amazing, but let's face it, we're all here for the chaotic gameplay. Just Cause 3 is a lot of fun to play. With a lot of tools, weapons and vehicles that you can collect, this game gives you an amazing and big kit. And by the way, you can drop in equipment and vehicles at any place at any given time in the game with the Rebel Drop function. Everything for the ultimate freedom in your playfield. Speaking of playfields, the map consists of a few islands, and also the map is humongous. It's estimated to be around 400 square miles. Can you imagine how much you have to travel to actually make it through one end of the map to another? Jesus Christ. Now that is a king-size sandbox game, if you catch my drift. And the most amazing thing in this game is that you won't use conventional methods to travel in the game. At least I didn't. I mean, why would you even think of driving a car when you have your trusty grappling hook, which you use not only to scale buildings, but in combination with your parachute and your new wingsuit, you use them to swiftly travel around the lands. It's actually really cool and fun to fly around like a wacky Spanish superhero, wreaking havoc to all your enemies. And it's just a little bit hard to control the new wingsuit in the beginning, but when you get used to it, you can use your grappling hook to keep your momentum. Presentation. Just Cause 3 is pretty quirky and action-packed, but having a lot of content and being so huge comes with a price. It didn't take a long time before I struck my first loading screen, and boy did it take a long time waiting. When I first popped the game in, I immediately got greeted by probably 5 minutes of loading, which I can accept the first time I boot the game. But the real annoyance was the loading time every time I failed one of the challenge missions. I mean, really, imagine if you want to unlock a certain perk in your weapons, and you have to do this challenge mode, and you fail like the first 10-15 seconds of the mission, and you have to wait for the loading screen. And I mean, big deal, you failed once, but imagine failing like 3-4 times and you have to wait like a minute or two every time you fail. Do I really have to wait this long every time I fail? Seriously! However, the only time you're gonna face a loading screen is basically when you boot up the game or when you take on challenge missions. So it's not really that bad since it's a big game, and I can imagine that it takes a long time to actually render everything. But once you're out in the world, there's nothing stopping you. Well, except if you want to unlock upgrades, then you're gonna have a real hard time if you're bad at the game. And it's really annoying to stare at the loading screen every time you fail because of some stupid reason. Which really takes me back to Bloodborne in the first stage. Really. Other than that, the game runs pretty good on the PS4. And now for the verdict. To sum it up, the game is a ton of fun with a lot of freedom, but the hype dies a bit from the loading time. And to be honest, I actually got what I expected from the game. Tethering different stuff together and blowing stuff up is a lot of fun, but I have other stories to experience, so this is a perfect sandbox game to just fool around in sometime. Just Cause 3 gets a 7 out of 10 for actually succeeding in being a great sandbox game. That was all for today's Rad Reviews, douchebags, and now for the announcement. If you have followed and enjoyed the show, then I'm really grateful, but these news aren't the most exciting ones. And I'm really sorry to say this, but from this day onward, I'm putting this show on a hiatus, and I don't know when I will come back. If I ever will, that is. Why, may you ask? It's mostly because of life reasons. When I started the show in the beginning, I thought it was really fun to make reviews and everything. I noticed that like 5 or 7 episodes in of having fun, making reviews on YouTube actually turned out to be more of a second job than having fun as I did in the beginning. So I realized that I don't really want to make game reviews anymore, at least not on a schedule. My everyday gaming actually turned to work, and that may sound fun at first, but in the long run, it isn't that much fun in games. But Endigo and Kitcha will still host Darkbad TV and do their weekly shows and Darkbad Time. So don't stay and fret about me, but enjoy of what's to come. And who knows what might happen in the future, so for probably the last time ever, thank you for watching my show and for showing your support. So as always, sayonara, douchebags! Yeah! Peace! And boom! So we're here at the end card yet again. And don't forget to watch Just Business and Hidden Games. And also Darkbad Time every week. So click these links. Just do it! Do it! Bye!